Aloha, I'm Taima and welcome to my first video of this nature. I offer tools and opportunities for consistent healing, and you can follow me on Instagram at Shaman of the Tao to see what other offerings I have. But today I want to talk about the sky is falling vibration. So have you ever heard the saying, the sky is falling? And what does that mean to you? And also, beyond that, how do you know if you're living and operating in the sky is falling vibration? This insight came to me the other day when I was experiencing anxiety and I was asking myself, what if, and fill in the blank. The blank was things go wrong. What if things go wrong in this situation? What if things go wrong in that situation? And I noticed that not only was my mind experiencing the negative what ifs, but I noticed that on the body level, I was feeling like I was in a state of fear. I felt slouched over and I felt shaky. And I could just feel from the core level that something in me wasn't aligned to the way that I know is true for me. So that's where all this insight started coming from. So when I found myself in that state of anxiety, I started asking myself some questions and I started asking myself, what is this? And I felt like I told myself, like, you're living as if the sky is falling. The sky is not falling. There is no need to panic. You don't have to worry about all of the things that could go wrong. So I started asking myself some other symptoms or indicators that someone might be in the sky is falling vibration, in a doomsday type of vibration, in a paranoia type of vibration. And so some of the other indicators are pessimism and worry. Then I started thinking about speculation. So what speculation is like contemplating a thought, but speculation to me really implies that this reality that we're living in, this thing that we're talking about right now that we're speculating, is non-tangible. It's somewhat of an illusion. We're just speculating. So that made me think, okay, cool, then speculation is just a projection of past trauma that's coming up in the here now. But what's actually happening is different than what we're perceiving. So whatever it is that we're afraid of, in these cases, it's a false fear. We don't have to worry about it. So again, speculation is a projection of past trauma in the now. So when we feel ourselves speculating something, we can remind ourselves that this world that we're living in and this thing that we're creating is just an illusion, and remind ourselves of our power. So the next step for me, and the next step that I wanted to share, is at that point you have to kind of decide what is real. So here I am, I'm experiencing paranoia, I'm experiencing worry, I'm experiencing speculation, I'm thinking, what if this goes wrong, what if that goes wrong? So at that point, your body, if you're very sensitive, you're gonna be like me and realize, like, I am in a state of fight or flight right now. So at that point, it's okay to ask yourself, what is real right now? Like, beyond my past trauma and beyond my triggers of whatever's happening in this moment, let me look at this situation objectively and ask myself, what is actually happening? What is real? Am I actually in danger right now? Is there actually something to worry about? Or am I just speculating and prophesizing and therefore like pre-creating? In that regard also, I have techniques that I share from, that I learned from Capacitar International that help facilitate movement during times of fight or flight. Because trauma is a result of stuck energy that happens at a time of fight or flight. So there are techniques that when you find yourself in a time of fight or flight, you can use your awareness and then use your free will and choose to do something to facilitate the movement. Even though you're in a state of fight or flight, you're kind of ascending that response and then facilitating the emotion through it, so that way your emotion does not get stuck, and whatever's happening that's causing you to have fight or flight responses doesn't cause you trauma, because you did the facilitating of the energy. There's also this book out there that I want to like try and link somehow on this video, but it's called Pronoia, and it's the antidote to paranoia, and it's written by Rob Bresney, and it is how the world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. And so if you are the type of person that kind of operates at default thinking that the sky is falling and that there's things that can constantly go wrong, this book will help you change your perspective. So what do you do when you find yourself in a state of the sky is falling other than facilitate your energy movement? I want to say that a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over. So with that being said, what is causing you anxiety and what is causing you to feel like the sky is falling is a result of beliefs that you've thought over and over and over, and now they're just really getting to you. And those beliefs are limiting beliefs. They no longer serve you. So with that being said, when you find yourself in these places, you can go into your subconscious and ask yourself, like, okay, what is it from my past that is making me feel this way right now? What is it that I am believing that is translating into my life experience right now? Did something happen to me when I was young? Did someone say something to me? But when did I get this belief that is now limiting me? So that kind of contemplation and objectivity will help you gain kind of strength and awareness for the next steps, which is planting new seeds. So what I mean by planting new seeds, because we hear that all the time, like just plant new seeds and watch them grow and nurture them and all this, and I'll probably say that a bunch of times because it has validity. But what I mean by plant new seeds is create new beliefs. And so if a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over, and you already went in and you figured out what belief is limiting you, then now you can start to tell yourself and reprogram the story that you tell yourself, rewrite the story that you tell yourself about yourself, and start to tell yourself things that are the opposite of the limiting beliefs. So for example, recently I've gone through a transformation where I was living under the belief of the limiting belief that I am not worthy. And so I've been planting seeds and telling myself, I am so worthy. I am so worthy. I am so worthy. And so the more that I tell myself that, that becomes a belief. And the more that I keep telling myself that and keep doing things that reflect that belief, then that belief gets stronger. And the more that I think about that belief, then that becomes my dominant vibration, because a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. So I just keep thinking, I am worthy, I am worthy. And it doesn't matter what kind of voices come at you, whether they're people telling you you're not worthy or your subconscious telling you you're not worthy. If you're making a commitment to plant new seeds, when those thoughts come up, you know how to handle them, and your commitment to rewrite your limiting beliefs into supporting life-affirming beliefs will kind of carry you through that experience. So that's one step. Another thing to do when you find yourself in a place of the sky is falling and everything's going wrong, what if everything could go wrong, is to let go. I know that sounds harder than it might be, or what is it? How do they say that? It's easier than it sounds. But think about it like this. You're in a boat and the river wants to take you downstream. Downstream is where everything that you want is. And here's some Abraham Hicks theory, by the way. So you're in a boat and you want to go downstream. And downstream is where everything is that you want. And life is naturally going to take you downstream. You don't actually have to work hard to go downstream. You just have to bring the oars inside the boat. So with that being said, you know, it's just kind of like a metaphor of just when you feel overwhelmed, imagine that there's a super huge, strong force trying to take you to where you want to go and trying to take you to everything that you want to experience. but for some reason you're holding on. And so you don't actually have to work hard to get to where you're going. You just have to let go and let life take you there. So just kind of reminding yourself of these universal truths during that time might help you be able to let go. If your mind is wandering too much and you're too deep into the sky is falling and you're really feeling anxiety and you can't let go, then try to focus on something else, because it's not always easy to stop thinking, and that's not always what I mean by let go. Let go, it's more about just like a let go of the resistance. Let go of the things that you're believing in this moment that equal you not having what you want, that equal you having to suffer. Those are limiting beliefs. So try to find a way to let go of the beliefs when you're in that state of being. So if you can't just baby step your way out by saying in the thick of it, it's okay, things happen for a reason and things are always working out for me. I don't have to figure this all out right now because things are always working out for me, and I could come back to this later. I'm gonna go do something that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm gonna go take a walk or take a nap. So that's kind of what I mean by let go also. Right now, we are all in the process of rewriting limiting beliefs. Like, pretty much everybody has limiting beliefs, because limiting beliefs get programmed into us from the age of 0 to 6. And then after 6, we act out those limiting beliefs in all the relationships that we have. And then it gets more intense if it's a romantic relationship. So now that we're adults and we have this level of cognizance, we can recognize when we're operating from old school ways and make a commitment to go down this strategy. So we're making a commitment and we're making a strategy. So the strategy consists of tools that you know work for you. So that way, when things like this come up in your life, you know immediately, 1, oh, I'm feeling like this. 2, here's what I'm going to do about it to honor my commitment. So your commitment to yourself is going to determine the success that you have with this kind of rewriting process. So on the tip of everything is always working out for me, that's something that you should ask yourself too. To what degree do I feel like everything is working out for me? To what degree do I feel supported by the world? To what degree do I feel supported by the universe? So having these kinds of things under your belt when it comes to knowing yourself will help you know where you stand and where you might have to open up your mind and like read the book Pronoia, you know? And so I'm sure there's tons of other texts out there and things out there, but I love Pronoia because he points out all of the things that happen naturally in the world, how like the sun is exactly where it needs to be in the universe to not burn us, but to give us life, you know, for example. So there's all these little like precise miracles in life, or precise measurements that really serve us. And if they were off just like the tiniest bit, it would really be a detriment to our well-being. So his point is that everything is literally designed to hook you up, to support you. Another thing that I've been wanting to kind of like get out with this whole idea, because it's the opposite of the sky is falling, is that not only are things working out for you, but we were born, everyone was born to experience health, happiness, fulfillment, love, like all that good stuff. We were all born to have that. So just kind of remembering that it's our birthright to have that will also kind of like give you some momentum to really commit to this journey of rewriting. Along that tip, what's super important is like to realize that you have a purpose. We all have a purpose, and our purpose is how we show up in the world and what we are able to offer to the people that we love, and what makes us feel alive and fulfilled and happy and in that place of I am living my birthright. So to kind of get out of this paranoia, the sky is falling vibration, a good place to come to create as your home is to realize you have a purpose. And to, if you don't already know what your purpose is, then it's important to learn how to shift your focus inward to figure out what it is. Because sometimes people think, oh, well, my mom really wants me to go to medical school, or she really wants me to be a hairdresser. My dad wants me to become a mechanic or something, you know, like whatever it is, we kind of sometimes have the tendency to look outwards for our purpose and hope that it's like reflected back to us, and hope that we'll find fulfillment in that. But a shortcut to all that, like seeking approval and all that, is just to learn how to shift your focus inward and ask yourself, what is my purpose? And then be open to receiving images of yourself doing something, or even be open to, at that moment, inspired action to, you know, go to the store, or call that friend or whatever, because in those cases of inspired action, after you've shifted your focus inwards, if you are inspired outward, then that's where serendipity is. And so in those cases, you might encounter in the outside world something that kind of validates the question that you were asking from within, which is, what is my purpose? Okay, so remember that the sky is not falling. Things are actually conspiring to shower you with blessings and hook you up at every turn. If they're not, and you find yourself kind of in a lot of setbacks or experiences that are super non-desirable, that could be an indicator to ask yourself, am I being who I really am? Like, am I being my true authentic self? Am I living my purpose? Because truly, when you're living your purpose, you're living such high fulfillment that you're just having joy and things are working out for you everywhere. So there's kind of like this parallel truth of not only is everything working out for you, but everything in the world, in the universe, is always trying to get you on the path to be who you really are. Because to be who you really are is the same path as being showered with blessings everywhere. It's like true supreme enlightenment, not enlightenment, it's true supreme alignment with that which you are and that which you want. So again, the sky is not falling. I understand the anxiety, but when you feel that way, just remember that it's an indicator for you to enact the strategy that you created, to get yourself in a more coherent place during times of fight or flight, and to get yourself in a more centered and present state of being, so that way, even if you're experiencing something challenging or non-desirable, you're going through it with full presence, and you're facilitating full flow, and you're learning from the experience. So that way, when you're out of that experience, you come out of it bigger and stronger, wiser, and hopefully with all of that awareness, you don't have to experience that same thing that you didn't desire, because you would have learned why you experienced it or how you attracted it to begin with the limiting beliefs that we talked about in the beginning. So I hope that the information in this video serves you well, and that we can all tap into how much the universe loves us and how much things are really trying to work out for us. And definitely I am holding space that we all continue to learn who we are, and then really, really be who we are, because that's going to be the game changer for not only us and our families and our neighborhoods, but the human family at large. Thanks for tuning in to my first video of this kind. I will link below where you can check out some of my other services, and if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit me up on Instagram, and I